I'm Harrison Graham from Chat Sports, and on today's Chiefs Report, we are presented by Roan. We love Roan. We thank Roan for sponsoring today's show. Go check out their clothes today and upgrade your wardrobe. Right now, code Chat Sports gets you 20% off at checkout. All right, coming up on today's Chiefs Report, things getting chippy, a little skirmish between some notable players at training camp. We'll talk about that. Is the sky the limit for the wide receiver room? We talking Sky more? We not? Maybe, maybe not. And then most overrated Chiefs player, Pro Football Network, naming an interesting player that I want to dive into as well. So lots of stuff to cover here. And listen, we are almost at 50,500 subscribers. Five's wild, baby. 95 away. Can we get there by Monday? Got the weekend coming up. I think we can get 95 new subs between now and then. Challenge for you. And if we do that, probably going to win our month-long AFC West sub battle as well. So go ahead and subscribe today, and let's get it done. Fight, fight, fight. Kelce, Toney, Karlaftis involved in a skirmish at yesterday's practice. It started with Kadarius Toney and George Karlaftis. If you haven't seen the video, you should be able to find it on social media, but I'll kind of talk you through it here as George Karlaftis, for a non-padded practice, basically tackled Kadarius Toney. Patrick Mahomes dumped it off to Toney in the flat. He made a couple guys miss, and then Karlaftis runs him down and kind of gave him a full shove. Like, it wasn't just kind of I accidentally bumped into you. He put him on his ass. Like, for a non-padded practice, it was kind of Bush League, if I'm being honest. Toney responded by launching the ball back at Karlaftis, which he, of course, missed. And then Kelce kind of got in Karlaftis' face and was defending his offensive teammates. And look, training camp's here. Welcome. Like, that's what happens, right? Especially in this new era where most teams take about a week to ease in without the pads. You got testosterone going here. These guys want to start hitting each other. Like, you got to be a little crazy to play this sport, and eventually they just want the pads to go on, and that's going to happen right here very soon. So it's exciting. It's fun. And is football really back until there's a fight at training camp? I say no. So welcome, Chiefs Kingdom. Training camp has officially arrived as we had our first true skirmish over at training camp. So it's all fun. These guys are going to move on from it pretty quickly, obviously. And, hey, Kelce sticking up for Toney. He's always had Toney's back. Like, he's been pretty vocal about believing in Toney as a player. Remember, after that lining up offsides issue last year, he really defended him in that moment as well. So you love to see that leadership. It's a beautiful thing. And obviously, it's a big year for Kadarius Toney, who's getting some work at running back as well as he looks to find his place in this offense. Do you guys think this fight's a big deal? Because I'll be honest, it's not. If you type Y for yes, I don't think you've ever paid attention to training camp, because this is what happens. Type Y for yes, type in for no. Let me know if you guys think this is a big deal. Get to story number 2 here in just a moment, but do want to show some love to our sponsor, Roan. That's R-H-O-N-E. 20% off with code ChatSports. The Commuter Collection offers the world's most comfortable and flexible set of clothing products known to man with their pants, shorts. The Commuter button-down shirt is excellent. They got a blazer for you as well. So if you need to get fitted up for a big, important meeting, you can do that. You want to hit the golf course, go throw on one of their short-sleeve polos. The 4-way stretch fabric going to keep you nice and comfortable, and that's really where they separate themselves as a company. Looking good is easy. I can go to the mall down the road and find plenty of clothes that look good, but am I comfortable? Am I feeling good? If I'm traveling for work and on the move, am I going to be stiff by the middle of the day? Because I've worn plenty of nice shirts in the past, and by midday, I'm sweating my ass off. I'm not comfortable. Not with Roan. Very breathable, very flexible, and it's absolutely fantastic. 20% off with code ChatSports at roan.com/chatsports. That's RHONE.com/chatsports. Go check them out today. Roan has you covered. Machine washable products as well. So you're going to save money by not having to go to the dry cleaners. Like I said, link in the description and comments. Okay, Hollywood Brown speaking, and he's pretty high on the Chiefs wide receiver room, as am I, especially compared to last year. We've talked a lot about this group over the last couple of weeks. Here's what Marquise Brown had to say. Quote, I'm excited. God willing, we all stay healthy and we just keep building, keep pushing each other. The sky's the limit of what we could do. And he's not wrong. And look, is this going to be a room that's top 5 in the NFL? Probably not. I don't think that's realistic. But the goal should be, A, let's not lead the league in drops again this year if you're the Chiefs. And B, let's create more explosives. That's why you bring in Marquise Brown, his 4.3 speed. That's why you draft Xavier Worthy as a vertical threat. I think the change in this room is, A, it was necessary, and B, it's completely different. It's unrecognizable, especially what you trotted out there in week 1 a year ago. I mean, it's kind of laughable. Like, Sky Moore, Richie James, Justin Ross. Richie James, he stinks. Justin Ross, nice story, but like the neck and back issues, it's probably going to be lucky if he makes his team this year, if we're being completely honest. Again, do you have just all-pro studs replacing those guys? No, but Rashee Rice by the end of last year was, I think, the best rookie receiver in the NFL. Marquise Brown brings tremendous speed. He's been up and down his career, but he's a clear upgrade over a lot of your starters from last year. And Xavier Worthy, got to see how he's going to play in the NFL, but in his limited practice time, he's been sick the last few days, he looks like a real threat. Like, those are upgrades over what you had last year. So I'm excited about it. We've seen the explosive playmaking on display early on in training camp, and it's been an emphasis. And what I like about the Chiefs is they clearly had a plan. We need to get more speed and more explosive plays in this offense, and they talk about it, and they've trained it, and they're executing it. Obviously, we've got to see it on game days in the fall, but they told us 3 months ago, we're bringing the deep ball back to the offense. And every day at practice, we're seeing a couple of viral plays of Mahomes hitting someone downfield. So, they have a plan. They're a smart organization, and when they recognize what they want to do, they go out and execute it, and it looks like that's coming together very, very nicely. What do you guys think? Will the Chiefs have 2,000-yard receivers, T for true, F for false? I think if you include Kelce, it's a possibility. I think there's a good chance Kelce gets back over 1,000 after dipping just below last year for the first time in 7 years. But it would still be tough for 2 receivers outside of Kelce to reach 1,000. But who knows? If the deep ball's a thing, then you might have a guy get to 1,000 yards on, less than 60 catches. If a guy like Worthy or Brown averages 19 yards a catch. So we'll see how it all comes together. Pro Football Network named Jawaan Taylor as the Chiefs' most overrated player. And look, I certainly understand why. I mean, he led the NFL in penalties last year. It was a problem. Let's just hear what they had to say, and then I'll kind of give my analysis in reaction to this. Anthony DeBona saying Jawaan Taylor certainly had an inconsistent tenure with Jacksonville to start his career. Nevertheless, Kansas City was willing to take a chance on him as their starting right tackle last season. He was called for an absurd 24 penalties while allowing 59 total pressures. Certainly didn't have a great year. Overrated feels strong because I don't know if anyone has ever mentioned Jawaan Taylor as like an elite right tackle. I think overpaid is more accurate. Like, when I got hit with the notification of 4 years and $80 million for Jawaan Taylor, I was like, whoa, that is a big contract. Now, you're protecting Patrick Mahomes. There was some thought they might play him at left tackle. So, like, it's not like it's an awful deal, but it was an overpay, and that's what happens in free agency. You end up overpaying for players more often than not. And certainly when you compare to base salaries of other players, and obviously with a guy like Mahomes, they restructure him most years to push money down the road in terms of salary cap hit. So, it's a little misleading there. Obviously, Mahomes makes more money than Jawaan Taylor. But the point remains, he's an overpaid guy. I think Jawaan Taylor's a solid player. I think the penalty thing was a little egregious. That the NFL made an example out of him with how he was lining up last year, even though for years tackles were kind of doing that, where they were lining up a half step back to kind of get that cheap first step. And it was so egregious week 1 against Detroit, they kept calling him for it, and it kind of followed him all season long. And, that led to an up and down year. But he's a really good pass protector. Run blocking's never going to be great for him. If he's average there, you'll live with it. You need to see improvement from what you paid for. Is he ever going to live up to $20 million per year, which would be at least a high-level Pro Bowler? Probably not. But can he be solid? Can he be a good player? We've seen him be a good player. Like, to act like the guy sucks is not true. And I always say this. I think the public and people and the bar with your buddies and this guy's overrated, this guy. Overrated's not bad. If you're overrated, that probably means you're pretty good. You're just maybe not as good as people think. And I think that's probably part of the explanation here with Taylor is like, well, he's making $80 million on a 4-year deal. He should be better than this. Yeah, he should. Well, the Chiefs overpaid him. That's what happened. So hopefully he plays a little better this year, cut the penalties in half, and has a better 2024 campaign. Who do you think is the most overrated player on the Chiefs right now? If you had to pick one guy, who would you say that player is? Let me know down in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We got more content to come here on the Chiefs Report, including a mailbag episode, so be on the lookout for that. Until next time, go Chiefs.